Hey everyone, we got ourselves a new and upgraded version of Item World or Steel Metal Fika's equipment enhancement. And before I get to what my priorities are and giving you potential tips on what to enhance first, let's quickly go through the changes that occurred. Let me just check this out. Oh yeah, so Gumi updated the modifiers that we can choose. So there are a few, let's call them global exclusive ones, because I believe some of them actually are. So we do have the reduced MP cost level 1 and 2, same applies to the LB limit fill 1 and 2. 5%, 10% MP cost reduction, it's nice, but ultimately doesn't really matter too much. The real good stuff is the LB fill. Let me just adjust the volume a little bit. I personally like the LB fill limit, and you will see that that passive on a few of my weapons in a few minutes when I show my list. Now, the real kicker here, though, is the attack magic passive. By the way, if you're wondering, it is absolutely possible to roll the LB fill passive or modifier as well as the attack magic passive on a single weapon. That is possible, which I find very nice, but the chances are super low. I've seen a screenshot of this happening to someone on the Discord already. Very, very lucky person indeed, but yeah, it is possible. It is super rare though. The other ones, HP defense, HP SPR, yeah, they're fine. They do add well though with the old bonuses that we used to get anyway. So those are good, but the real kicker is that these odd values, 1, 3, 7, and 12%, they are gone. So the least amount of any passive you can get from the stats at least is 5%. So it's in good increments, 5, 10, 15, 20, or the 30% rare for attack and magic. So that is really good. I like it. Now, I am at, let me just quickly see, I am at currently 75k, so I've run six rolls so far. It's been good for me. You will see why it's been pretty good for me actually. But I'm not keeping my hopes up, because I've read a lot of people's comments on, I don't want the raids being absolute trash. They probably are, as they always been. But yeah, so I'm not holding my breath for being that lucky again for the foreseeable future. So yeah, the staff, I mean, it's fine, 10% boost to all elements, it's okay. I'm gonna run it through once, and whatever I get, I'll keep it. And one thing to keep in mind, let's check out the rares. For the level 10 one, those are the only interesting. It's only 4.65% for the weapon you're running through. This isn't a particularly high chance. I think it's slightly higher than before. I might be wrong though. I don't have it memorized, to be honest. And one would assume that the global exclusive rates that or passives that we get are lower chance. I don't know, from my own testing and the 6 runs I've done, yeah, probably lower, but I don't know. I haven't done a map on it yet, or my sample size is way too low to make estimated guesses out of this. Sadly, Gumi doesn't provide any numbers to the rates other than saying, well, we adjusted the rates, but we're not telling you to what degree they have been adjusted. So yeah. Alright, so much for that. So what weapons am I gonna run? So I prepared my Excel sheet, which is the reason why this isn't recorded in portrait format. And I know the first question you're gonna ask me in the comments right now is, can we have a Google Docs version of this? Yes. Please check my pinned comment. I put the exact copy of this into Google Docs, and you can copy this for your own liking and modify it as to what you want it to be. So if you want this particular preset, you can have it. Check out my pinned comment. So as you can see, I have the priorities on the left hand side. So I got a total of 38 weapons. Well, 37 because I don't have a second Fabled Violin yet. But that's fine. I mean, as you can see, I commented that this is only really relevant for the variance change, for the magic variance change or implementation, which is probably still half a year out for global. So no rush. But yeah, as you can see, first of all, I am running the guns. So mainly Lara's gun and Black Sparky. I was lucky enough to finish my very first one. Sadly, it's not the one I'm going to use on Lara. Me personally, for Lara, as she does not really have that much trouble getting max attack, I am going for 40% attack, the gun rare that is, and the 30% attack magic passive with 2 LB crystals per turn. The reason why I'm doing that pretty much fairly simple. Whenever I run her in Dark Visions or Vision World, she's a huge pain to fill her LB, especially when you have to LB pretty much every other turn or every single turn, like turn 1, 2, and 3, LBing with Lara, huge pain. And I just want to ease the pain, and well, getting 2 LB crystals per turn certainly does help. It's going to make a whole lot of a difference. Even at 1 LB crystal per turn, if I got 1 LB crystal per turn and the other 2 rares, I'd be fine with that, honestly. This is just the best case scenario. Luckily, my second modified shotgun, which is anyone's version, mostly Sky's though, it is done. So I was lucky enough to get all of these, and yeah. So right now I am currently rolling either Black Sparky or modified shotgun, although I am rather close to being at this one. I have, I believe, 40 attack, 20 attack magic, and 15 attack magic. Might leave it at that, but then again, it's Sky. Sky always really needs a lot of attack percent, so I might actually go for a perfect roll on that first Black Sparky. And then just another 2 LB crystals if I were to ever use them. I might never run the second or third Black Sparky, but technically speaking, it'd be good to have all 3 Black Sparkies rolled perfectly. After that, I feel like it's really good to roll Sephiroth's and Auron's Katana. So I put Sephiroth's Katana before Auron, well, because I rarely use Auron. And if I'm not really using Auron that often, he should have a less priority than the Sephiroth Katana. So as apparent, he too gains or is supposed to get the full attack treatment, meaning 30, 20, and 20. Gonna take a long time, but it's gonna be worth it because that also eases up some of the gearing limits he has. Well, he is a super slot efficient unit. Sometimes when you just cannot use Spirit Eater Sense, for example, which is just an example, because it has tech passive on it, you're gonna be a little bit short on attack percent on him and have to use weird items such as Steward Pumps for that, a little bit more oomph on attack percent. So that is going to tremendously help in that regard. Another one that is certainly going to see a lot of use in Item World is Dark Ambantine, which is the Dark Vision Rod. It is going to certainly help having 70% magic on it. Although I think I messed something up here. No, it's fine. It's the rare mod, it's the weapon rare, it's the global rare, it's the new... Okay, it's fine. So yeah, having 70% magic on it is going to be a huge help, especially for units such as Angela. Angela always has a little bit of trouble filling her magic percent, and that weapon being at 70 is going to help out greatly. Same applies to Cross Aigoyon Arm. I don't even know if I spelled that out correctly, but you all know which weapon that is. That is the true double hand fist for any fist users such as Carton, Tifa, or sometimes even Lara. So yeah, here too I aim for 70% attack, much like the Dark Ambantine weapon. Good stuff, good stuff. And from here on out, it's more guns, as you can see. We truly are in a gun meta. It's magic guns, and magic guns previously had the worst rolls possible. And this finally changed. We kind of up to 65 magic on it right now, which is the goal here for me, especially when it comes to Chronundrum Blaster from Louise. I hate giving Louise keepsake locker just to maximize her magic percent, and having two 60% guns on her is going to be so much of a relief and relaxation in all these magic percent restrictions. And this is pretty much what Gumi was going for. Relax the stress on gearing and make it a lot easier, and I truly appreciate that they went this route. One thing I do want to point out, we are very, very much due for Kane, Final Fantasy IV, and his weapon, the Kane's Lance, which is the 7-star Kane. This one is going to see a Chronicle weapon upgrade. So that is becoming the best two-handed lance, if I'm not totally mistaken. I think it's a two-handed lance. Please don't pin that down on me if I'm wrong. But it is going to be the best spear, become the best spear in the game. And if you want to be proactive, run this weapon through Item World and secure yourself a few good modifiers on it, because you will use this weapon if you get yourself a Kane. Or Kine, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Same applies to Fabled Violin. The reason why I do want to have two is one for Holy Cetra Aerith memes. I am actually using her quite often in Dark Visions. So giving her more MP that way is always a great thing, although it requires equip instrument. It also requires to run Bulwark, but it may be worth it. And the other Fabled Violin, like I mentioned earlier, is for the variance change. And then follows the Evoker stuff with Scepter of the Pious, which is Luna Freya's Chronicle weapon, Nirvana, which is Yuna's, and then Terra's and Ferris's sword. Those should be your next priority. Because truth be told, we're still not that much using Evoke DPS other than Yuna, and Yuna is also only really broad for her Dark Field and nothing else. And less for her damage, so it's fine. And after that, I would go for quality of life stuff, such as Crimson Butterfly from Mastermind Xorn, all those daggers that really want more LB fill. So you have the LB fill passive from the global thing, so 2 LB crystals per turn. This should rate. Let me just fix that. I'll also fix that. Oh, oops. That's the type. I got confused for a second. So, High Tide, 2 LB per turn. And if you want to be really ballsy and get really lucky, you could also do High Tide, 1 LB crystal, and 2 LB crystal passive, because all of those combinations are possible. But I feel like it's asking for a little bit too much. Because that's a 4.65% chance, and that might be, well, that certainly is less than 4.65% chance, so you're asking for a lot going for triple LB passives on these weapons. And I feel like getting LB per turn, High Tide, and 30% magic attack is going to take quite a while. And after that, it's just basically stuff I use in budget guides, such as Turfing, for example. Dragon's Claw is a good one, but I rarely use True Dual Wield Card nor Tifa. Same applies to Dark Kaiser Knuckle. Wildcard, it's cool for Tiana, but I don't know how often we're gonna keep using Tiana. Furion's Bow is more a future investment, so to speak, because bows only become relevant when Second Emperor Fina releases. She has a 30% bow imperil. So if all comes down to choosing a few weapons, because I have very limited time these days, until the February 10th that is, so 1 more week, I might just skip Furion's Bow this month and probably run it next month or in March. We'll see. No, it's April. It's going to be April already. Phew. Anyway, the same applies to Serpent Rod of the Twin Sages. If you're using mages, most mages are ran in True Double Hand and less in True Dual Wield. Kubo Sword, it's a great sword. Same applies to Sword of the Unbreakable Faith. I don't value them highly. Things might change when we get more sources of Greatsword Imperil and the variants change. And yeah, Master's Katana, or the Katana from Cleoma and Axstar, I don't think it's that good. It is the highest double-handed katana, but it's rarely used unless it's the killer types. I think it has human killer type alliance with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. And then the axe from Tulian, last priority. It's an axe. There's only 2 units that have an axe in peril, Tulian and Ignacio, and neither of them are being used at all. So might put this at the very end of things. So these are my priorities of all of this. And yeah, like I said, I'm gonna run the guns first because most of my units are using guns, and hopefully yours too. And then it's pretty much by default which weapons should come next. But again, you can make a copy of this sheet, this Google Sheet later on, and adjust this to your liking, to your priorities. I'm not gonna say you have to do this, but I would suggest at least copying the first couple of weapons that I put on this list, because those are the most commonly used ones. Alright, I hope I was able to help you guys making a decision what to run first. And we'll see each other, I don't know, maybe Saturday, Sunday for more Clash videos, or another top 5 video. I do have a few on my list still that I want to go through. We'll see what happens on the weekend. But for now, this is it. Thank you all for watching. See you then. Bye bye.